This December 9th meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Burleson Independent School District is now called to order at 5:30 p.m. This meeting was duly posted according to legal requirements and a quorum is present. We welcome our employees and we welcome our guests here this evening to our meeting. The board encourages public comments during the public comment section of this meeting. Each speaker will have up to 3 minutes to speak. We appreciate you being here. And Ashley, do I have any cards? I want to remind everyone that the board will not discuss issues that are not posted on our agenda. The board may defer an agenda item and those discussions until the appropriate time during the meeting. The board asks that citizens not present complaints or concerns regarding individual employees at this time, as the district has a complaint policy that must be followed before the concern is addressed by the board. All right, let's get started. First, we have Brandon Potts.
Hey, Mr. Potts, just so you know, I'm going to keep the time on the 3 minutes. I will try my best to remember to give you a 1 minute warning.
Okay.
Sometimes I lose track when I'm taking notes, so I'll try to do that.
My name's Brandon Potts. I'm actually a candidate for the Johnson County Appraisal Board. My residence, I don't know if it's on there, I live in Prairie Timber, which we are on kind of the dividing line of where Joshua ISD and Burleson ISD, but I'm a citizen of Burleson, growing up here. And what I'm asking for your vote, and one of the things that I would say is that I'm looking to represent our community well. I have vested interest, as all of us, as for me, a long-term third-generation resident of Johnson County. I really care about this community. Went to school in Ohio, actually worked for the business in Atlanta and said, I am coming home, marry a hometown girl. So that's what I do. But that is truthful. What I'm trying to do is further on the kind of what has happened in some of the Johnson County Board of increasing the clarity and understanding of appraisal process. They have done some good work in making it clear for all of us to understand how it works and trying to make it fair in its evaluations across the board and no favoritism. I am for that because I want that. I want to be truthful and do what's right. The things that I think I bring to the board is my background. I was in real estate and still am. I'm in property management now, but I was in real estate for 12 years. I was the listing agent, and if you understand the real estate industry, the listing agents tend to set the prices. But a listing agent usually is a very skilled position because they're the ones trying to price it where market was. So I think those things helped me as a candidate, but also I was in banking before that. I was the person that critiqued appraisals. I literally read, and I'm sure many of y'all seen an appraisal, every single word in an appraisal, about 11, 12 pages of the appraisal to make sure it was accurate and fair. And I think those backgrounds of the things that I've done would give me good qualification to be a candidate for the Johnson County Appraisal Board. That's right.
Thank you. Next we have Fernando Rodriguez.
Hello, my name is Fernando Rodriguez. I'm a local business owner of Burleson County. I own multiple businesses and I also represent multiple nonprofit organizations, so I'm very invested in this community. So today I'm asking for your support on giving the books over to Brandon Potts, 500 books to him, and 214 to Dr. John Woods. Why did I say these here? Well, as like I told you, as a business owner, I'm being very involved in the community, and I've been going to meetings, different cities, different school districts throughout the county. And these are the two gentlemen that I have seen at every meeting. So that is very important if you guys planning to hire somebody to represent you at the CAT board. My question for you guys is, do you want to hire somebody to represent you out there that does not show up to the interview? I won't. I will not hire somebody that doesn't show up. But I'll tell you, in that regards, by the way, Dr. John Woods, he's actually at another meeting right now at the city of Mansfield. That's why he cannot be here. Otherwise, he would be here. And I can tell you, everyone that's here, 99.9%, we're in the support of the same people. Brandon Potts and John Woods. So I was talking in Spanish just real quick. So quiero decirles, es de suma importancia que elijamos a Brandon Potts y al doctor John Woods. Ellos son personas profesionales que nos van a ayudar a tomar buenas decisiones para manejar mejor nuestro dinero. So I highly recommend supporting those two guys because they will represent us well and they will help us do a better administration of our money. So thank you so much. I expect for you guys to make the call and don't make the mistake like I have done it. Hire somebody that doesn't show up to interviews. I would say shame on me if I hire them. Thank you.
Okay, Debbie Prater.
Good evening. My name is Debbie Prater, and I would like to thank the trustees for giving me the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I know that later in the meeting you're going to be casting your 714 votes, and I respectfully request that you allot 214 votes for our incumbent John Woods and 500 votes for Brandon Potts. I would also like to thank all the trustees for their time and their energy that you put into this board, because I know it takes a lot. Thank you for your consideration and aligning yourself with the citizens, and don't fall into a deer trap. Thank y'all so much.
Craig Huntley.
I probably could use a lot of help, but that's all right.
I won't even take up just 3 minutes.
Okay, sorry about this.
We ready? You know, yes. I'm just gonna go. My name is Craig Huntley, and I thank you for allowing me to speak. Last year, y'all were wonderful to us. We were the first county in the state of Texas to take over Central Appraisal District. And because of us, there's CAD board elections going on clear across the state of Texas now. Before we found out this, nobody had ever even heard of it before. Dr. John Woods, he is speaking at the city of Mansfield for votes, the same as you are tonight. So Mr. Brandon Potts came here. We had to divide and conquer. We have only 2 remaining candidates chosen by the citizens. Dr. John Woods, he's an incumbent who is our assistant chair. Mr. Potts is our new candidate who has a lot of experience with appraisals, banking, and real estate, as he's already told you. Our new citizen CAD board has made sweeping changes with more to come. Their goal is to have the best ran CAD in the state of Texas. The money they have shaved off the budget and the money saved for Burleson ISD will almost be enough to hire another teacher with your savings. They shaved almost $500,000 off the CAD budget. Friends, let's please not move backwards to non-transparency. Johnson County at this very moment is a leading example in our state, and everyone is watching. I would like 214 votes to Mr. John Woods and 500 to Mr. Brandon Potts. Thank you.
You were way on yourself.
Okay, Dwayne Goulding.
Good evening, Dr. Jefferson, trustees and staff. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. I was going to speak about John Wood. I've worked with him for the past year. He's vice chairman of the board, and I'm chairman. I was going to talk about Brandon Potts, but it didn't seem like it's necessary. I never said anything about Brandon. He covered his background extremely well. The current board, which John Wood is a part of, we're a group of seasoned executives. We all have various types of backgrounds: corporate, public, finance, banking. It's a well-rounded board. We want to add Brandon. We want to keep John. We want to add Brandon because of the background he described to you guys. I would draw your attention to what we've accomplished in the last 11 months. Big change in transparency, big change in accountability. It was mentioned about the budget cut, and that, based on your share of the expenses for the CAD next year, that's about $65,000 that you don't have to contribute to the CAD. I don't know what teachers make exactly, but it's got to help get another teacher or however you guys choose to use it. Historically, the CAD board has been a largely ceremonial body, exercising little oversight. They've never cut budgets, while we are exercising our responsibility to oversee the operations per Texas law. We do not need, nor do we want, a rogue board member to come in with a hidden agenda and try to throw a wrench in the works. We're striving to have the most efficient, most innovative, most effective CAD in the state of Texas. We've made some progress this year. We'll make even more progress next year. But we really would like to have Brandon and John on the board with us to help us move forward. So I respectfully ask for your votes for Dr. John Wood and Mr. Brandon Potts. And I won't give you the number. Somebody else already got it. Thank you.
Helen Kerwin.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak to you. I just want to say a few words about our Central Appraisal District. I've been campaigning a year, actually tomorrow will be a year, and knocking on a lot of doors. I realized very quickly the biggest issue for the citizens in Johnson County is their property taxes. We all know they're excessive, but what I have since learned is how unfairly they have been assessed to so many citizens. So I decided to learn. I just didn't know enough about it. And the two gentlemen here tonight, Craig and Greg, kind of educated me on the whole process. And what they have done in 1 year and how our CAD has evolved into a transparent department of our government, citizen representation. They actually had, by statute, a representative to assist citizens in when appealing taxes that were never used and never announced. They actually saved $5,000 a month in fees that no one ever caught in the CAD department. But the thing that I am really thrilled about is the citizens feel that they can go to their Central Appraisal District now. Not only do they have assistance and representation, but they feel that their taxes are now equitable and fair. And Johnson County is the first county in all 254 in Texas to do this. And it is all over Austin. People are talking about Johnson County and these two gentlemen who did it. And I'd just like to end with, because I was so inspired by what has happened, the journey this is in a year, that I have filed a bill in Austin that is to require 5 of your board, the majority of the board, to be elected by the citizens, not appointed anymore, and that the chief appraiser be elected also by the citizens. So I'm done. Thank you all. And I was gonna say, you got a minute? Okay, well, what I asked you for then is if you would consider the nominations, the candidates tonight that have made the effort to volunteer, walk that extra mile to represent our citizens here in Johnson County with transparency, and award your votes to them tonight. They're smart, they're educated, and they will do the job. Thank you very much.
Tina White.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to address you tonight. My name is Tina White, and I'm one of the 3 elected members of the CAD board. I happen to be one of the former executives from the public sector. I'm a retired city manager, and frankly, I decided to get involved to elevate the professionalism of the board and to have some influence on the amount of transparency, or the lack of transparency that I saw before joining the board. It was just a mystery to me how members became appointed to the board. I was doing some volunteer work trying to figure out local election stuff and couldn't find anything on it. And that really sparked the interest for me. As Dwayne said, for decades of experience on this board, diverse experience, we don't all agree. So please don't think that we're looking for people who think exactly like us. I can say that there's a diversity of opinions amongst the board, but we work through them, work very effectively in subcommittees, work very effectively together as a group. And that continuity is really important right now, because if you haven't heard, our chief appraiser has resigned. So we're going through a period of transition. As a board, we have a subcommittee that's been working on putting together a proposal where we can bring in a firm to conduct an audit, for lack of a better term, on the processes and procedures that are being conducted within the appraisal district. And hopefully they can also act as an interim while we right the ship and begin a search for a permanent appraiser. So you've heard the 2 gentlemen we're speaking of tonight, John Wood, who's been a member of the board until now, Brandon, and the experience that he brings. I would really encourage you to cast your votes for those 2 gentlemen. They have been public, they've been at meetings, they've introduced themselves, they've made themselves available to boards and to residents. There are some school districts that have cast vote for people we haven't ever seen at a meeting. And I would say that amongst a group of us, we've been to nearly all of the meetings, and to not run into these people in some forum, it just doesn't feel right. It's like, you should be out there asking for the position, because we're gonna ask a lot of you when you get on the board. It's not just coming to a meeting once a month. There's gonna be some work that people will have to do, including serving on some subcommittees. So that's my spiel. If you could allocate your votes to John Wood and Brandon Potts, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Douglas Hansel.
Good evening. My name is Douglas Hartzler.
Sorry.
I
So
Poor handwriting. My wife complains about my handwriting every day. Now, I'm a citizen of Burleson ISD. I live over on the east side off of East Ridge Road there, and I just wanted to express my support for the efforts that the CAD board is doing. I've become involved in the eliminating property tax. It's more precise, replace the property tax system. I've been in Texas since 1989 and have watched the many failures of the state in trying to fund our public schools. I'm a believer in public schools there. I believe we need strong schools, but I also believe we need affordable schools. And there's a point. I make a pretty good living. I'm in IT, and I've saved and budgeted well for myself, but there will be a point I may not be able to afford to stay in the property that I currently have if appraisals and tax rates continue higher. So what I'm interested in is that we have a transparent process in how appraisals are done, that it's administered fairly and evenly across the board. One example I'll share with you is the past 2 years, I went down and protested and said, tell me how you calculated my value. They couldn't do it. Specifically, I have a 4-acre piece of property, and they said, well, Doug, based on that, your per acre value is $60,000. Okay, fine. Show me the numbers, how that was calculated. I went out and got some comparables and came up with a different number. Well, it's just the way it is, the basic response. So that's why I'm for this open process My property is valuable, it is worth something. I'm not sure it's worth the amount that it's currently appraised at. It may be higher, maybe lower. But I would just like to know the honest value, and that's why I think the CAD board effort is so valuable to the citizens of this county and the school district. So I ask you please support their efforts. Thank you.
Greg Cooper.
Dr. Bort, I emailed you guys these a few days ago, once this was on the agenda. Hopefully you've had a chance to review it. So I'm gonna take a little different tone here tonight than most of the other speakers. And the reason that is you guys have a unique opportunity that school board trustees don't normally have. And that is, this is one of the decisions that affects people far and wide outside of the taxable footprint that you guys have in your purview. And the reality of this is that as you guys sit in the chairs that you sit in, you understand the slow slog and process of trying to accomplish things via open meetings and things like that, because you guys are volunteers in a short amount of time. The list of accomplishments that the current Central Appraisal District Board of Directors has made up to this point in such a short amount of time is absolutely phenomenal. And to do anything and to even consider derailing that work when it is in process currently would be absolutely unacceptable. And one of the things that Ms. White mentioned is that they have put out a request for proposal to get independent eyes on here. This is a lot bigger of an issue of anything that has anything to do with the school district. The Central Appraisal District, by law, needs to appraise properties fairly, accurately, and equally across the board. Now, I stopped at 50 of ones that were frozen, completely frozen, and I did 50 that were out of proportion increases. Now, we've had long conversations with Mr. Hudspeth, who couldn't answer why in this. He was looking into it. He's since resigned. I do not know why. However, there's a lot more going on here than anything that affects the school district. These individuals are in the process of rectifying and righting that ship. They deserve the opportunity to do what they're doing for Johnson County, for you, for all the citizens. Thank you, sir. For all the citizens of Johnson County. You would want to continue your hard work if things that you were uncovered were such of gross, I don't want to put an adjective on it, but of such problems, you would want to be able to continue that work. So please consider doing that. I look forward to Cesar Diaz, Lauren LaCava Pate, and Bruce Gibson right behind me to speak to introduce you to them. I've been to most meetings, I've never met them, so I'm looking forward as they introduce themselves to you too. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have one more speaker. I apologize if I misread his name. Fonzie?
Fonzie.
Fonzie. I should have known.
Okay, that's my hero.
Yeah.
Fonzie. He's probably not gonna like you about it. I'll leave you.
Thank y'all for allowing me to speak today.
What's your last name?
Bustillos.
Bustillos.
So again, thank you for allowing me to speak today. As somebody that, not just myself, but through family, has multiple properties in different school districts, when we come up to something where we have a very inflated value of our house or just rural property that we own, we face the issue that there is coming to a point in time that we are not going to be able to, keep paying these taxes. And like many other farmer ranchers, we're going to be selling our property, which is going to turn into 1,000 more houses, which is one, crippling the structure, not just the water, but the electricity. But it shouldn't even come to that point that we should ever think that we're going to have to sell our property one of the properties which we've owned over 100 years now. But why should we have to do that when things are just overly inflated? So what I'm asking is for you guys to vote on our citizen voted members, which is Mr. Wood and Mr. Potts. As many others have said behind me, and we stand with 11,000 strong, not just in our area, but growing larger through Texas. We're not just doing this for us, we're doing this for you guys too. And what you're doing up there isn't just for you guys, you're doing it for us. We're asking you guys, you men and women here, to help us fix the problem that we have. One is no accountability. This overinflation, where's the money going? The budget that's putting onto that? And why is there such a budget put that the houses continue to be overinflated to make that budget? So again, thank you for your time, and we're asking to vote for our citizen voted members. Thank you.
Ashley, do we have any more cards?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you to our speakers. The Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will adjourn into closed session at 5:56 p.m. for the purpose of consideration of matters which closed sessions are authorized by Title V, Chapter 551, Government Code .071-.084, whereupon the superintendent, at the request of the president of the Board of Trustees, will present for the board's consideration or discussion the following matters: consideration of teacher administrator employment and or other appropriate personnel matters. Deliberate and negotiate a contract for a prospective gift or donation. Deliberate the use of security personnel, devices, and or audits, including the intruder detection audit. Deliberate a matter regarding a student or student discipline. Deliberation regarding real property. Consultation with attorney. We are now in closed session. Trustees. Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will reconvene at open session at 6:41 p.m. I recommend the Board of Trustees consider voting for candidates for the Board of Directors of the Johnson County Central Appraisal District, and we'll have some discussion at this time. Mike.
Jerry, hold on one second. I'm sorry. The video's not running.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry.
There's a microphone there, I don't think it works.
No,
You need a microphone? Echo?
I'll just speak loud. Show us up. You need to use your cafeteria voice.
Hey, Dr. Jefferson, while you're waiting, I got to brag on my daughter for a second.
What did she do?
She graduated here in class 2000 with Kelly Carston, and she went on to TCU. She's an educator. She missed an eighth of a point being the smartest kid at TCU in 2000.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
She must take after her mother.
You took it.
Hey, you teed it up, brother. I just took the swing.
Hey, that's true. Very true.
Yeah, let's start over. Let's try this again. Wait a minute, hold on.
All right, now let's try this
Am I
again.
on?
We need
Am I on? Okay, thank you, good. One more time. The Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will reconvene to open session at 6:43 p.m. We're going to consider voting for candidates for the Board of Directors for the Johnson County Central Appraisal District and the Tarrant Appraisal District. Do we have some discussion? Mike?
I would like to talk in regards to the Johnson County Appraisal District. I would like to put forward John Wood. He has performed his duties well on the current CAD board over the past year and has definitely earned the opportunity to continue doing what they've been doing and trying to bring transparency and such to the board, to the CAD board and the appraisal district. I also would like for us to consider Brandon Potts. I don't know a lot about Brandon. We just met him tonight, but he is a Burleson resident. And it just seems that considering he was here in person to request that the board support his candidacy, that it makes it obvious what the board would like to do. Is there any other discussion from anyone else?
No, Mike, I would second everything you just said, and I just want to say a special thank you to everyone who spoke tonight. Not easy to do sometimes, but we certainly appreciate when people show up and make their voices heard. And we just want you to know that we take that very seriously, and we certainly listen to the requests of our constituents. So thank you for showing up and making your voices be heard.
Again, I'll say thank you as well for you being here. All right, with that in mind, I need a motion that the Board of Trustees cast votes for John Wood.
Can we make it more precise?
Yes, go right ahead.
I would like to make a motion that we allocate 214 votes to John Wood and 500 votes to Brandon Potts for the Johnson County Appraisal District category.
All right, all in favor? Second?
Second.
All right, Sean, thank you. All right.
All in favor?
Dr. Jefferson, may we all shake everyone.
Now wait, now y'all want to say, we got a whole lot of good stuff coming up. Brenda puts on a heck of a show.
You have an NASA thing like last year.
What is
We're
it?
back on the space station like last year.
Not this go around. Not tonight.
We want to shake your hands and let these young people come in.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, every one of you. Thank you, young lady. Thank you, my chair. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Lord! I'm taking the whole crowd with me. Everybody left, man. That's right. I'll be safe, Travis.
Come.
Ready.